In a high-stakes playoff clash filled with drama, adversity, and playoff implications, the Minnesota Timberwolves responded with a level of urgency befitting a team with everything on the line. Without the magnetic presence of Steph Curry due to a hamstring injury, the Golden State Warriors entered enemy territory already hobbled. What followed was a testament to Minnesota's poise, physicality, and a generational talent's will to win. The Timberwolves stormed out the gate, launching into a commanding 13-0 run to open the game and seizing control in a way they hadn't done in decades. Anthony Edwards, with the swagger and explosiveness that have defined his postseason emergence, ignited the target center with a deep three early in the first quarter, pushing the lead to 16 and signaling that the Wolves were not interested in letting this one slip away. By the end of the opening quarter, the scoreboard read 29-15. The tone was set, but it wasn't without its scares. In the second quarter, Edwards suffered what appeared to be a devastating ankle injury after Trayce Jackson-Davis landed awkwardly on him during a fast break finish. For a long moment, silence blanketed the arena as the Wolves' franchise centerpiece lay on the hardwood. He eventually limped to the locker room, casting a shadow over an otherwise dominant first half. Yet in a moment that spoke volumes about his resolve and physical toughness, Edwards returned, helping galvanize a team that had already found its rhythm. He would finish with 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block, a complete performance in a must-win scenario. Draymond Green, always at the emotional center of postseason basketball, added another chapter to his playoff resume, though not one he'd prefer. After making contact with Naz Reid's face during a scramble, Green was assessed his 5th technical foul of the playoffs. That puts him 2 away from an automatic 1-game suspension, a development that looms large given Golden State's already fragile state. After the game, a visibly frustrated Green addressed the ongoing perception surrounding him, pushing back against what he described as an agenda attempting to paint him as an angry black man. He emphasized his success, intelligence, and basketball acumen, reminding everyone that his intensity should not be misconstrued as volatility. Despite a brief second-half push by the Warriors, who managed to cut the deficit to just 7, Minnesota never truly relinquished control. Jaden McDaniels elevated his game with 16 points on 7-4, 10 shooting, adding 3 steals and 3 blocks, marking one of the most complete two-way efforts seen from a Timberwolves wing in a postseason game since the days of Sean Marion's playoff versatility. Julius Randle continued his steady contribution with 24 points and 11 assists, quarterbacking the offense with veteran savvy. For the first time in over 2 decades, the Wolves earned a wire-to-wire playoff victory, something not accomplished since the days of MVP Kevin Garnett and their historic run to the Western Conference Finals in 2004. From a broader perspective, Minnesota's defensive blueprint was exquisite. Their game plan neutralized key Warriors' scoring options, particularly without Curry to orchestrate the offense. The Wolves shrunk the court, disrupted rhythm through deflections, and challenged shots with relentless length and physicality. Players like Walker Kessler, Naz Reid, and McDaniels anchored a switching scheme that swallowed up Golden State's off-ball motion sets, especially targeting Buddy Hield's catch-and-shoot opportunities, and forcing Jordan Poole into contested, uncomfortable shots. The Timberwolves' reserves were instrumental, combining for 39 points, an effort that spoke to the team's depth and readiness for the moment. On the flip side, Golden State's effort was marked by sloppiness, mental fatigue, and a clear identity crisis without their perennial MVP. Turnovers plagued them early and often, 10 in the first half alone, and the Warriors' offense, which relies so heavily on movement and space, simply couldn't manufacture enough quality looks. Head coach Steve Kerr, reflecting on the defeat, acknowledged the challenge of facing a desperate team with fresh legs, just 48 hours removed from an emotional 7-game series. Still, he noted his team's resilience in narrowing the gap in the second half, framing the split as a respectable outcome under the circumstances. Looking ahead, the question becomes increasingly stark for Golden State. Where does the offensive production come from without Curry? Klay Thompson remains a shell of his former self, struggling to create off the dribble. Andrew Wiggins' inconsistency continues to plague the rotation. And while Draymond's playmaking and defense are invaluable, the scoring burden now falls disproportionately on a committee ill-equipped to carry it. Minnesota, meanwhile, has reestablished control of the series narrative, reaffirming their identity as a physically imposing, defensively elite, and mentally resilient squad. With Edwards back in action and momentum swinging, they head to Chase Center not merely with hope, but with expectation. This game wasn't just a bounce back. It was a declaration. And for the first time in a long time, the Timberwolves are not just surviving the playoffs, they're shaping them.